Walking Dead Season 2 Episode 3 Thoughts. This episode is called Save the Last One. It is rated TVMA, so will this video be another episode I love. Spoilers for every episode leading up to and including this one. Let's dive right in. So I thought this episode did a great job really exploring like the fear of loss and how to process it. Not the very first episode to do it of the show, but yeah, like over the course of it, genuinely, we and several of the characters are not sure if Carl is going to make it. And, you know, there's even debate about whether, you know, like genuinely, Laurie does feel like maybe it would be better for him. Which does remind me, I don't know if this is technically a spoiler for that. I'll just say this is not the only dystopian post-apocalyptic story that I've seen where the mother is saying, you know, what kind of life is this? There's no hope. And the father holds on to hope. So, yeah, maybe it is a bit of a trope. I'm not sure I've seen it more than these 2 times. And let's see, I really liked Carl and Andrea talking, you know, Carl saying, you know, that was not my decision to make, here's your gun back. And let's see, Daryl asking her, you know, do you want to die? You know, which is, maybe that's who the kid in the Babadook was quoting, was Daryl Dixon. And let's see, and again, I really appreciate they show both sides, you know, with Carl. When he wakes up, he's talking about how amazing the deer was. What a deer. And Rick points to that as evidence that it is better that he live, because he still has hope in him. He wasn't thinking about the sad things. And it is true, sometimes kids can find, you know, joy and happiness in things that we adults have long forgotten ever brought us any joy. Let's see. Still no Sophia. I'm glad I watched one a day of these and don't have to wait. Was this one of the shows that where they aired like a week apart? Yeah, just yeah, it's very, very effective that they still haven't told us exactly what happened. I'm very, very worried what will be her fate. Let's see. Yeah. I liked Andrea and Daryl together. He, you know, tells the story, and yeah, I don't blame her for laughing there at the end. That, yeah, there's a detail or two you might have wanted to leave out if you did not at all want her to laugh there. And, you know, they find the guy who, you know, quit, I think, was the word he himself used on the, you know, a little bit of poetry. That was some killer poetry right there. And that guy is a hanging, grunting ad for never skipping leg day. That doesn't even make sense. Anyway, let's see. I thought they did a really great job gradually increasing the tension with Carl. You know, all the blood, and you have the seizure, and just, yeah. I think that might just about get us to the, yeah. So the whole thing with Shane and Otis. Before I'll get to the ending, but before that I will say I thought they did a fantastic job with the foreshadowing of that, because we have a line that goes something along the lines of Shane will find a way, no matter what it takes, Shane will find a way. And when Otis says, I'll go to the locker room, Shane says, I'm not leaving you here. Subtly planting in the audience's mind, about Shane thinking, will Otis be left behind? And Otis says, I have no intention of being left behind. There's a window there that I can fit through, So Shane's mind went there, Otis's didn't. Like, he didn't even, it's one of those things where, like, he could have started by saying, I know how I can get out of here, the locker room. But he says, you go that way, I'll go to the locker room. It is an understandable enough assumption by Shane. I was thinking that too. I was thinking, is he going to be able to get, is he self-sacrificing, like, out of guilt? That's a life for a life. A 30-something guy dies, a little boy lives. Fair trade. Yeah, he's probably older than 30-something, whatever. But Otis was so not thinking that he's going to die there that he didn't even think to start with that. So, yeah. And, yeah, Shane did what had to be done and, lied about it. Didn't say that he, yeah. And there at the end, shaving his head, I guess to hide that he lost some hair in the struggle with Otis. And you have the young woman handing Shane the clothes for after the shower and saying that I mean, the two of you are not the same size, but this is the best we got. And Shane is like, yeah, Otis' breathing doesn't really suit me. I mean, his clothing doesn't really suit me. But yeah, right. Now I went ahead and talked about the ending before. Anyway, yeah, every so often the episode will cut to them trying to make their way out. And yeah, I don't know exactly how I managed to miss, yeah, at the end of the previous episode, yeah, I don't remember every single detail, but I think there was something that, it looked like the thing that the episode made clear was they can't go back out the way they came. It wasn't really saying there's no way that they'll be able to get into the building, but yeah. And the let's see. Yeah, great tension as they make their way through. And even before Shane dropped out the window, I was like, oh, this is gonna hurt. Like, I forget what the word, vicariously felt the pain or something, just as he's looking down, okay, this is not gonna go. This is gonna hurt, and he tries lowering himself down, and then there's a walker, like, holy crap, just, yeah, it's like, he's like, this is really gonna hurt. I don't know, maybe there's another way, and the walker's like, I got a different way, just, yeah. And let's see, yeah, that really is, like, brutal. Him just shooting Otis in the leg so that he's gonna get eaten alive. Very nicely, that also felt quite Romero to me. The arm, we see them eat some of the arm, we see them eat, like, I want to say one of the ears, something like that. Just, yeah. Again, this visceral thing, because we know how sensitive the human ear is. We know, like, you know, like, it hurts to get, like, stung on the arm by a bug. Imagine some, you know, someone that used to be human biting into it and taking chunks out. Like, just holy crap. I think that does cover... Yeah. Yeah, some more really great stuff between Lori and Rick. You know, the thing, you know, he's trying to distract her with the story about Shane. And I already mentioned the excellent discussion about, you know, and I really like the line, I see how it crossed your mind, and she says, I can't stop thinking it. It didn't just cross my mind. Let's see. I think... Right, and also really genuinely heartwarming when Carl was, you know, conscious briefly and talking about the deer. Yeah. I'm not sure this is the first episode where we hear that the vet's name is Herschel, but this was the first episode that made me think that if there were a walker that could, you know, make conversation, which, I mean, I don't think it'll happen, but then there was a gremlin who could, I can't help but think that if someone was introducing this walker and Herschel, they could say, Walker, Herschel, Herschel, Walker. We know that Herschel Walker likes vampires and werewolves. I am not certain how he feels about zombies.